Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? They're down in the valley a-singing. Day is a-breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? They've gone up to heaven a-shouting. Day is a-breaking in my soul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So, what record can we find that track on?
Bright Morning Stars is on the studio record we did before this called Wider Circles.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what number record is Ley Lines for you?
Yeah,
You've been at it for some time.
Yeah.
We have like a debate between this. We call it Lucky Number 7, but I think it depends on how many bootlegs you count in the repertoire. There are many floating around.
Official releases. If we keep to that, it's 7, right?
7.
Okay,
Yeah. Lucky
cool.
number 7.
Right on. Well, lucky number 7, and lucky for us to have you here in the studio performing these songs. It's very cool. So again, you're in town for a show at the Variety Playhouse tomorrow, which I will be at along with some of our guests in the studio today. After that, you're heading to Nashville for Permaculture Action Day.
We are.
Is that something you've done before? That particular festival, or?
Well, actually, the Permaculture Action Network is an amazing national organization that we work with in partnership, and they bring kind of direct action days to some of the concerts, and it's a lot around food justice and sustainable farming and a lot of urban farming, really. So they work in partnership with our shows, and we're able to piggyback the momentum of the concert, the momentum of their organizing, and then the local food justice community. So we have done a couple in Nashville, and we've done a couple in Atlanta as well, and it's just an amazing part of getting us off the stage and onto the ground and literally hands in the dirt, which is we don't get to do enough of that. So
Right. It keeps the connectedness going that you are clearly representing with your music as well. I mentioned earlier, my brother is a regenerative farmer back out in the Midwest, and there are many like him, and I'm sure you know many folks participating in sort of getting everything back to where it should be in
Right.
terms of the origin of the food itself, and the spirit in which we consume it.
Yeah.
So thank you for that work and being involved in that kind of thing. And that
Yeah.
sounds like a really cool hang, actually, in
Yeah.
Nashville. So
Yeah.
Come hang if you're in Nashville.
yes, shout out to that. And yeah, don't miss that. That's on Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the day after you're here. Well, you're here now, but the day after your show. We've got a couple more tracks to hear. What's on the docket next?
We're going to do one off of the new album, and this is one that we wrote. We do a collection of traditionals and finding kind of the liveliness of traditional music, and then we write our own music and we study roots music from around the world. So it's a broad scope, and this is one Chloe wrote in I think vibrancy and the immediacy and the need of our relationship, like you said, to connect things a little more. And the song is called Resilient. So.
Yeah. Some songs we take a while to write, and this one just sort of came tunneling out really fast. So.
Well, it sounded great at soundcheck. I can't wait.
Thank you. Here's Resilient.
I am resilient. I trust the movement. I negate the chaos. Uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen. Whoa, whoa. Poignant, the winds are shifting. It's all we can do to stay uplifted. Pipelines through backyards, wolves howling out front. Yeah, I've got my crew, but truth is what I want. Realigned and on point, power to the peaceful, prayers to the waters, women at the center. All vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system bow down to its knees. Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 I'm made of thunder, I'm made of lightning, I'm made of dirt, yeah, made of the fine things. My father taught me that I'm a speck of dust and this world was made for me. So let's go and try our luck. I've got my roots down, 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 deep. I got my roots down, 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 deep. I got my roots down, 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 deep. I got my roots down, down, deep. So what are we doing here? What has been done? What are we gonna do about it when the world comes undone? My voice was tiny, and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty I am resilient. I trust the movement. I negate the chaos. Uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen.
Yeah.
Very nice. Love the Boron.
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah, it sounded good.
The drum of my.
I think we got the
Blood marrow.
8080 request.
Yeah.
Which is funny because really that 808 is trying to sound like that instrument.
Yeah, the Bowron and the 808 are, that's that Atlanta Celtic Irish hip hop.
It's the melding.
Fusion, it's all in there. Traditional music is rich like that.
We fused it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I love that instrument. So we, shouldn't waste any more time. We have a special guest, right?
We have a special guest.
I'll let you do the introduction.
Bring our beautiful mother, our mentor, and sisters, same mama, same papa. We say it all the time. The old-fashioned kind of sisters. And this is the woman that raised us.
Atlanta's finest, one of Atlanta's finest fiddlers. We
Welcome,
learned
Jan.
most of what we know from her and our father.
Right on. Thank you for being here with all of us today, Jan. It's very nice to have a couple of fiddles happening and a banjo. All right, cool. We've seen some selection of the instruments utilized in your music, but that's not all, right? I know that sometimes live you have a smorgasbord, a myriad instruments available.
Yeah, if you come to the variety show, you'll see 6 of us on stage and that many plus instruments. So.
Very cool.
I think we counted actually the other day, and there are 63 strings we have to tune each night to get the show complete. Yeah. So we have a lot of different stringed instruments, and we brought in an amazing West African traditional harp player. He plays an ngoni, so he has double West African harps. We have a cello, a stand-up bass, several guitars, so it's quite a show at this point.
We actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaking the instrument, had that very double string African harp, the ngoni, in here yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Dirtwire was here showing off their plethora of uniquities as well.
Friends of ours.
They're
Yeah,
good friends.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And that was a great hang with them, and we all learned something, and it was very cool. And that is a cool instrument. I can't wait to see that at the show tomorrow.
Yeah, you sure do.
It's the predecessor of the banjo, so it's nice to have the two on stage together.
Very cool. Nice. More of the fusion that we were talking about. Cool. Well, I wanted to ask really quick before we start this last song, for have you tell us a little bit about the slow music movement, which is sort of your principles and philosophies as enacted during your touring life and in your home life as well. Tell us a little bit about what that philosophy is and how that applies.
Yeah, we've been touring for about 14 years now, and we started playing at farmers markets and configuring all sorts of ways that we wanted music to get integrated back into I guess, the everyday life of our communities. And so when we started touring full time, we were trying to figure out all the different ways we could literally slow it down. And that has meant everything from touring regionally and figuring out a way that we're not jumping around, but able to spend time in regions enough to catch what is local and the food and the traditions in the natural world. But we've also toured by train. We've toured by sailboat. We've done a little bit of long-distance walking, traveling, and we're working on a horseback tour. So it's both a literal concept. We really do want to slow down our touring, but also, like you said, kind of some principles around reintegrating the groundedness of music and figuring out how to keep it more oriented to what's happening in each community. So
Sure. Flying around at 1 to 500 miles per hour is not maybe the best way to do that. I don't think we're designed to be able to go that fast. I think it's about 20 miles an hour tops.
Hops.
With our own feet. That's great. And as someone who's also traveled a bit, like I always prefer to take the slow road. I feel like the journey is more profound. The destination can be more appreciated rather. And I love that. Have you done like an Appalachian Trail hike thing?
Ooh, I mean, not with instruments.
Okay.
That would be a good one, though.
I have a friend who's done, I think, has keep coming back to the place they left off and has made it, if not all the way, they're very close. They're above 85% of it at this point. But
Beautiful.
We have a dear friend that Eustace Conway. He does a lot of Appalachian education.
That's funny because that friend I'm referring to is connected to
Great.
Eustace. Please
Yep.
continue. I can't wait.
He's a friend of ours, an amazing project called Turtle Island, all around Appalachian education. And he's been talking about doing a mule-drawn buggy tour with us up in the mountains. And he has one that can literally backroad. It's like
like four-wheel drive.
It's like a four-wheel horse-drawn, like four-wheeler.
Very cool. Leave it to the last American man to
Exactly.
to come up with a concept such as this. Shout out to Eustace Conway and to my friend Stephen, who worked who learned a lot on Eustace's sort of preserve several years back. He's a dear friend of mine from back in the Midwest.
Yeah,
So that's
powerful
the same person who I'm talking about with the trail. So interesting. It's a small world, and we covered that a little bit earlier. That is very cool, and I hope that happens. And I know Eustace probably isn't watching this right now, but tell him to come through. I would love to have a chat.
We'll send him to you.
Yeah, it would be a great hang.
We'll
So
send him that,
A note
Eustace?
with a pigeon.
yes, we can do the interview via carrier pigeon if necessary. But that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you are connected to that amazing human being.
We have amazing, amazing mentors all across the country that keep us, and really the world, that keep us tied to some pretty powerful work. So we're lucky, including this one.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, your work
to
is
the
indeed
mama.
also powerful, and I will not waste any more time delaying this last performance here today.
Fiddle too.
All right. This is an original one that we wrote in the traditional kind of old-time style, but with lyrics that felt like they really told a little more of the contemporary story, struggle, and triumph of what's going on. And it's called Find Your Way.
I am certain we are ready, standing firm, feet planted steady. I know this world is heavy, arms loaded, drum back, gaze steady. Of my visions, I speak my tongue. Trying to steer my pace, my run, I leave no trace. But the moment's come, we'll build bridges for our daughters and our sons. Find your way, find your way. Whether you fumble or stand graceful, darling, find your way, find your way. Whether you fumble or stand graceful, darling, find your way. Let's do that. When you rise, you move your feet. Find your pace and find your beat. Walk the walk and don't retreat, and we will rise as one complete. When you rise, you move your feet. Find your pace and find your beat. Walk the walk and don't retreat, and we will rise as one complete. And as our right, we claim our truth and lift 'em up and love our youth and hold 'em high in mighty shoes and teach them strength and let them choose and find your way, find your way. Whether you fumble or stand graceful, darling, find your straight to the sun. When I'm lost, I'll find my myself. Listen to the wisdom, Mr. Sly. Root yourself before you fly. Remember all that wise was true. Fake it till you make it, pull on through. Fake it till you make it. 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 Find a way. Find a way. Whether you fumble or stand graceful, darling, find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Whether you fumble or stand graceful, darling, find a
So
job,
nice. Thank you, Jan, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chloe and Leah, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, where can we find out where you all are headed next, other than what I just said? What's the social plug for the
You
band?
just have to spell Appalachia right. Rising Appalachia will take you all over the place.
Gotcha. You also have to pronounce it right, and I'm glad that I checked.
Yeah, you're good. You got
They're
it.
all right. It's
We're
just
all right. We're all right. Thank you again
for
so
having
much
us,
for
y'all.
being here. Yeah, and safe travels to the next
you.
destinations, and I will see you tomorrow
Appreciate it.
night.
Yeah. Thanks so much.